can buy this car, that's gonna make me happy. It didn't make me happy. I can buy this house, that's gonna make me happy. That didn't make me happy. And I remember being like crying at my 30th birthday party and realizing that I really didn't have anyone that close to me.
Please welcome Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth, Charlie Puth!
Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter.
We've had like 8 multi-platinum hits.
Has over 100 million streams.
All the people who said you'd never make it, and then you have a #1 song.
I was terrified to sing in front of people, and I knew to be an artist I had to sing in front of people.
So you came up with what you thought everyone wanted to hear.
I started out on the internet. I think I was one of the first to make a YouTube account in 2005. Like, do you talk to her anymore? And he was like, no, we don't talk anymore. And I was like, we don't talk anymore. Like trying to make a parody song again. Oh, I feel like I have that voice, that original voice note somewhere, if that's of any interest.
That's of a lot of interest.
We don't talk anymore. You took them away.
You're a very good interviewer, by the way.
Why do you say that?
Because before you hear a brand new song, you know it's going to be good. Like, I know this is going to be good. I can tell. When I wrote See You Again, it was meant to be for another artist.
You didn't think you'd be on the song?
Oh, they didn't want me on the song. I used to not know myself, which is why I would dye my hair blonde. And I thought I was supposed to be what people expected me to be. I worry that I'm not going to be understood, and that to me feels like a failure. My goal with this album is to be understood, and if no one understands me after that, then I don't know where I went wrong.
Do you feel like you've been understood before?
No.
There's been some changes.
So excited to officially be here with Charlie Puth, one of the artists that has been a part of our childhood and now adulthood, at least my childhood and my adulthood. And I'm sure so many others out there.
When did you first hear one of my songs?
See You Again, 100%. That was my first introduction.
2015. Oh my God.
11 years.
That's officially a long time ago. That's crazy.
Officially a long time ago.
Wow.
But I'm excited to go over everything before then because I think you have a really amazing story. And I was listening to it. What I do to prepare to go behind the wall is I try to listen to as many interviews as possible. But what was cool?
Boy.
What was cool about yours specifically is I feel like I knew a lot about you because I've been a fan for a long time.
Oh, that's nice, dude. Thank you.
So I knew a lot of like the songs, and it was interesting to go back and see like the interviews and see how much you've changed as a human being when it came to like answering questions.
Yeah, there were some bad ones.
What do you define as bad?
When I was exaggerating or just saying things because it's so weird. I was never, when I wrote See You Again, it was meant to be for another artist. I never thought of myself as an artist. So one day I was just kind of catapulted into artist world, and I didn't exactly know how to be an artist because I never really acted like an artist or carried myself in that way. So when that day happened, I just had to kind of figure it out in front of millions of people.
Which is insane.
It's insane, and there are a lot of mess ups, and some of those interviews I can't watch. They're like so hard to watch because that was the point of bringing this up. I never believed that people just wanted to listen to my music just to listen to my music. I always thought that there needed to be a reason for them to want to go to my music, like some interesting story or whatever. They're power drilling something back there. I don't know how annoying that's going to be.
So you came up with what you thought everyone wanted to hear back then versus now, like just how real the power drilling is.
Yeah.
Like you are becoming like more real as an artist and like being more authentic of who you are in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's is a good symbol of
What note is that?
That would be an A flat
A-flat.
below middle C. That's the thing.
I'm really excited to get into See You Again. I think, okay, so Behind the Wall was started to shine a light on the people and stories behind music, movies, and media, but also to inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
And originally it was also to inspire every underdog to go for it. And what I really loved about your story is like that moment with See You Again feels like an underdog story because it feels like you never thought you would be an artist after everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to get into that. But before we do that, the question I ask every artist before we start is, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, what are some of the songs they know you from?
You might know me from See You Again. Slice. It's been a long day. I've seen them before. You might you might know me from Attention. You might know me from We Don't Talk Anymore. You might know me from Cheating on You. You might know me from One Call Away. You might know me from Marvin Gaye. It kind of rhymes. You might know me from Done For Me. You might know me from the very COVID TikTok era Light Switch song. You might know me from the Left and Right song with Jungkook. Kind of musically all over the place, but in a very controlled box.
And now people might know you from Changes.
Yeah, Changes, Beat Yourself Up. My goal is to get people to actually know me now. I feel like they've known my songs, and for the first time, I'm kind of letting everybody in to know me.
If you're watching this, there's a good chance you want to put out music, you already put out music, or know someone who puts out music. And what most people don't know, it was almost impossible to do that back in the day. In fact, Queen had to sell their van just to record their first album. It was impossible to put out music back in the day, and when I wanted to first put out music around 6 years ago, it felt so complicated and expensive, and I didn't know where to start. Well, that was until I found Distrokid. Distrokid is the actual music distribution platform that I've been using for years now. It is seamless, it is easy, it allows me to post my music to every single streaming platform at an annual flat rate. Prices don't change, you don't pay per release, it's just one price that you pay for the year, and you can upload as many songs as you want. There's no gatekeeping, it's just upload and go. And if you're collaborating with other artists, Distrokid makes the process so easy, no more awkward convos, you just split it up based on percentage and it automatically distributes royalties directly. But here's one of the most important things, unlike other distribution platforms, Distrokid takes no percentage of your royalties. So you as an independent artist get to keep 100% of your music royalty. So if and when you're ready to share your music with the world, check out Distrokid. It's had my back for over 6 years now. Head to the description now to check it out for yourself at a discount. And now let's go behind the wall once again.
Yeah, I had the privilege of being able to hear the album early.
Oh, wow. So you've heard... Wow, that's great. You got the link.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I have to say, a lot of the songs in there felt very, very personal compared to the music that came beforehand.
Yeah, I was terrified of being personal for a very long time. I'm gonna raise this mic up a little bit. I feel like I'm just... Or should I lower my chair? It doesn't go any lower. Does it look normal?
It looks normal.
Okay, cool. That's all that matters then.
Sweet.
Yeah, for the first time, I'm just letting people into my life, which I resisted for a very long time. Because I never thought I was that interesting, to be completely honest. But now it seems like that's I'm just ready to relate to people, not just musically, but on a kind of human level.
You're ready to let people in, but also you're ready to be more of yourself and be like very vulnerable in these songs.
Absolutely.
How did you get like over that? Because I think that's a fear a lot of people have, to like show off who they really are in a public setting in this way.
I think I just self-realization. I just woke up one day and thought, wow, am I really going to be like putting up a front for the rest of my life? Like, how am I going to have a successful life outside of music? Not that I've always necessarily put up a complete front. I just feel like there's been a brick wall between me and casual listeners of me, where it turns out that we might actually have a lot in common, people around the world.
Do you feel like the real fans got to know you too, though? Because you just said that brick wall between you and the casual listeners. What about like the diehard Charlie fans?
The diehard fans, which I'm very lucky to even say that I have, they got to know me, but they like forced their way in, because I didn't always make it easy for them. And
you put up the wall, and now we're going behind the wall.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I named my album after you.
Isn't it
Whatever's clever. Yeah. It's not behind the wall.
Which is a very like fun title, because it kind of plays on the fact of like being real. Like, instead of trying to make an album title that you think everyone would like, you made an album title that connects with you.
That's very nice of you. That's exactly why I called it that. I actually don't even consider, I mean, you've heard the songs. I don't really even consider them to be too clever. There's no sound effects in them or the title of the songs. They're more real. And I think by me naming the album Whatever's Clever, it's kind of me putting that into a little bottle and throwing it into the nearby ocean and kind of waving goodbye to that former way of thinking. Not to get too woo-woo with it, but I needed to get here, and now I am here.
Definitely. And in order to get to where you are in the story, I feel like it would help a lot of creatives to go back in time to a lot of the older songs to understand.
We have to go back in time.
So one of the questions I always like asking is, how many songs did you write until you got your first hit?
You're a very good interviewer, by the way.
Why do you say that?
Because you come prepared. You keep it flowing. You just get a good, before you hear a brand new song, you know it's going to be good. Like, I know this is going to be good. I can tell.
I love it.
That wasn't for anything. That was just me telling you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. What was the question?
How many songs did you write until you got your first hit? Because I feel like there's this like obsession where people think that like it's similar with content. You make a video and like the first for me, it took me 150 videos until a video went viral.
Oh, really?
So like one of the questions I always like to ask is figuring out how long it takes for someone to really figure out how to write a successful song in a way.
I mean, the first successful song I wrote was "See You Again." That's the day I got signed, and that was a hell of a way to start off. But I think maybe a more interesting answer was maybe how I got there, because I came up in the Tumblr 2010s YouTube, YouTube world, the stunner shades, the mustache on the finger kind of millennial stuff. And we didn't always, I was making music for YouTubers, and it was fitting for the time. It wasn't the most artistic. It was more just, I want to make a song for this person's YouTube channel, so they'll promote my YouTube channel. And sometimes the music got a little, ukulele corny at times, but it's, I think that changed when I graduated from Berklee College of Music in 2013, moved back in with my parents in January of 2014, and I was still making YouTube videos, but I really wanted to focus on writing songs for actual artists, not just YouTubers. Still working on
Did the
music.
YouTubers sing the songs that you wrote, or they like featured them in the videos? Because that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was, you remember like MagCon, and there was with a group with Ricky Dillon, Keenan Lawley, Sam Podorf, Connor Franta. Did I say Ricky Dillon already? They had and Trevi Moran. They had a group on YouTube called O2L. It was called Our Second Life. And I think, and JC Caitlin. These were all really nice YouTubers that really supported me like early in my career. I started out on the internet. I think I was one of the first like people to sign up and make a YouTube account in 2005.
Was that around the time that there were like also parody songs you were making? Like a lot more like comedic songs?
Not in 2005, but that's more like 2007, 2008, because I saw The Lonely Island and Andy Samberg. And it was like, they're legends. And I was so inspired by that they were able to make a funny song, because I love Weird Al Yankovic. I love parody music, and I love it when it actually like sounds good too. Anywho, I made music for Ricky. I made music for Trevi. She would sing it. Ricky would sing it. Like, so they were singers, but I think I made a song for the group once, and it's kind of, for me, hearing myself like sing rap is a bit cringy, but again, we're going, behind the wall. We're going to back where we started. And I remember going to DigiFest somewhere in upstate New York, I think it was at the time, in 2014. And I was so proud because there were like 40,000 kids that showed up. This is way before Musical.ly or TikTok even. And the crowd was going crazy. The song that I made in my bedroom back in Jersey. So I went home that night and was like, okay, I'm going to still make music for YouTubers, because I love the attention that I'm getting, from YouTube all of a sudden. But let's try and make a song for like a Cody Simpson and Austin Mahone, people signed to record labels. And this guy named Jeff Levin, who I ironically work with today at Atlantic Records, reached out and linked me up with this songwriter named Michael Keenan. And he would work a lot with Melanie Martinez and have all these super credible acts to come out. And he
reached out because of the YouTube songs? Or?
No, he reached out because Jeff Levin linked us up together. They're friends. They're still to this day, they're friends. And I always wanted to integrate jazz, my jazz piano, into pop music. And he was one of the first songwriters who came over to my house and told me that I could do that. And also Rick Markowitz, who I believe is a manager now, still makes music. But all of these. I started to get to know people in the music world in the record label side of things, which I don't know is super exciting to hear, but got to give a shout out to them too. Because I would work with Mikey, and he would play these chords on that Juno 60 over there, and it was super warm and sounded like Lionel Richie, and it had like kind of an R&B flair kind of to it. And it was the first time where I believe I successfully was able to integrate my love of jazz into what could have been a pop record. Nobody cut those records because they weren't that good, but they were a lot better than what I was making on my own, just being in the YouTube world. And then Jeff Levin would hear the records that I made with Mikey, and then flew me out to. Actually, no. So then someone else flew me. This is the part that Jeff doesn't love to hear. Someone else flew me out and then signed me, and then I wrote See You Again. But it all worked out because now I work with Jeff today.
Got it. Okay, wait. So
there's a lot that I haven't let people into my life, so I don't expect you to know a lot of this stuff. But
yeah.
But my goal on this whole run for the next 2 years is to let people know my life, about my life. Started off on YouTube.
Yeah, with I know a song that you don't like very much, but I also
oh God, what is it?
Sexy Shades.
Oh, my ass just clenched when you said that. But yes, I'm okay. I was 18. I actually like that song. I made it on GarageBand.
It's a great song. It's fun.
On GarageBand.
It's catchy. There's a reason people like it and connect with it. There has to be.
It was the most 2010s. This is where you interlace me in front of my dad's Ford Flex in New Jersey, or me. There's a video that nobody can find. I think I have it privated on my account of the first one from me on Mass Ave in Boston with my friend Connor in 2009. We filmed it on a flip camcorder. Do you even know what that is? It's a USB camcorder. They filmed it. You could only film for like 10 minutes. It was so bad. They don't even make them anymore, but that's what every YouTuber used because we didn't have cameras in our phones. We still had Razors and LG chocolates and whatnot.
LG rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you, how did you learn to be a songwriter then? How did you pick it? Did you pick it up quickly? Was it easy for you?
I think I have always loved how songs have made people feel. I remember going to school dances and hearing Goodies by Ciara, and it's produced by Lil Jon, the low 808 and the crispy clap.
That's really good.
It's all
that clap is crazy sound. Like that sounds really good.
Yeah. It's a one day I'll put a sample pack out with my snap, and isn't that good?
Yeah.
And
don't you do that a lot though? Don't you like beatbox in all your songs?
I just throw it because when I work with Timberland one time, he did it on showed me every song.
Yeah.
Have you interviewed him before?
Not yet. Hopefully one day.
That'll be an interesting one.
But I hear a lot about Timbaland from everyone, and everyone says that he beatboxes on everything.
He'll make sounds from slamming garbage cans together and it'll turn it into a kick drum. Because I didn't do it for a while, and then I worked with him. Oh, bless you. Sorry. See, I could take that, and or Timberland could take that. I'm kidding. But I here's a fun fact that you might not know. My little hand clap is actually, if you listen to Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande, and I did not write that song.
Ross.
Yeah, Ross Golan and Johan Carlson. If you listen to the very beginning, you're going to hear very faintly in the background. That would be me. But I didn't. I just walked in at a good time.
And then they added that in there.
Yeah, I didn't want any credit for it or anything like that, but it's kind of just fun because that song. I love that song.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Does anyone know that?
Now they do.
Now they do.
Yeah. Now they do. But yeah, I've always loved songwriting, and I would hear the songs of the school dance and be like, how do I have a Yamaha motif and I have an MPC and a Korg Triton. How do I make that beat? So I would make beats for.
How old were you when this was happening?
Like 13.
You had all that when you were 13?
Yeah. I was really, really lucky to have the Korg Triton.
That's
like
amazing.
Early on because I knew someone at Guitar Center. This guy in this band called Symphony X, Mike Pinello, and he hooked me up. Or in East Brunswick Guitar Center.
Wow.
He hooked me up with the Korg Triton with the CD burner, I think for like way off of what it like was MSRP'd. Is that it? Yeah, like what it was actually worth. But I always wanted to be responsible for making like the songs that like people would move to. Like and I wanted to learn how Lil Jon made his kicks so punchy, and how Dr. Dre on like Bitch Please would make the snare so on an Eminem record. Like I wanted to learn how to do it, and it just took like 10 years to just by listening and trying to figure it out.
Until 23? Is that what you mean? Like 13 to 23? Is that when See You Again came?
Yeah, that's when See You Again came out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So 10 years of writing songs until See You Again.
Mm-hmm. And then See You Again came out, and then my inadvertent artist career just started happening.
But you wrote songs before then as a songwriter too for other artists.
Yeah. I mean, and for myself too. There were a couple of like, self-made EPs and that I made in college. That's like they're not.
That I couldn't really find, by the way.
Yeah, that's by design. There are some good songs, some elements of the start of what would be my songwriting mark, but I was still just like figuring it out.
Yeah.
Uploading everything to like Bandcamp and TuneCore and SoundClick, and I don't even going to hillydilly.com, which doesn't even exist anymore, but it was an excellent blog for budding music that wasn't on iTunes yet. I ended up on that site a couple times during college. The what was it called? Hype Machine.
Yeah.
I ended up on the Hype Machine. When I saw my name on the Hype Machine, I was like, wow, I made it.
Yeah.
And I get to go to class and then refresh and see if my song went up on the Hype Machine, and sometimes it would. That like made me so happy. So I kind of wanted to be an artist, but I never really admitted it to myself.
Because you were afraid to?
Yes, I was terrified to sing in front of people, and I knew to be an artist I had to sing in front of people. I went through college like terrified to sing in front of people, but I just forced myself to do it.
How'd you get over that fear? Because I feel like there's a lot of fear that artists and people have when it comes to performing in front of others.
My parents, my dad, my parents are my number one fans, and my ultimate. I joke that my mom's my first A&R. My dad would always encourage me to sing in front of people. I didn't do it until the first time I did it was at this club in New York called Birdland, and I was 16, and I was so bad, but the audience was so nice. I ripped the Band-Aid off. I was like, okay, so now I can sing on the internet because I sang in front of people. So you
sang covers,
right? I
right?
sang covers on the internet. So if I do that, that's less terrifying than being in front of a crowd. And then I can graduate by, them playing in front of multiple crowds one day. But it was a step-by-step process for me.
Is it still scary for you at all?
No. I just hope it sounds good.
Okay. One of my favorite songs of all time is the one you keep mentioning, and that's See You Again.
Yeah.
I would love to hear, how did that song come about?
Yeah. So mind you, it was 2014, and it was at a time where everything was at this tempo. Like after Levels by Avicii came out in 2009, like everything remained here for a long time. And See You Again actually it was at that tempo, and it sounded like synth thing. Believe it or not, it's kind of hard to explain. It was
The
like
original version.
the
of that song?
original, which I don't even have access to. It's probably on. You're like, pull it up. I'm like, I don't even know how to work this computer. But DJ Frankie and Andrew Cedar were working on a dance record with those, chords. And I remember, I mean, my memory's probably altered what it sounded like a little bit, but I remember it being in the same key. Like I'm being dead ass serious. It had a riser, it had the and the reverse, like big room. It wasn't the best, but the chords were really good. And mind you, I don't even have a publishing deal yet. No, I'm no one in the songwriting industry, but I'm working with two people that have made multiple Flow Rida hits, multiple hits for Cody Simpson and a lot of other people. A lot of success, and I kind of came in a little hot-headed because I was so excited to be there, and I was like, I have an idea. And they looked at me and were like, just erase everything. Those chords are good. Because we were adding and layering it and just the song wasn't going anywhere. We were just making a decent sounding track. And instead of it being... If I go up here, I just delete everything and keep the... And I kept them just on that's a Rode sound, but it was an Alicia Keys plug-in piano sound. And immediately when I heard the piano, I started singing, "It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again." Like a gift from God. It just like fell down. I didn't write any of it down. I ended up writing it in my notes on my small iPhone after so I wouldn't forget it. But we all like didn't know each other, and then we all started crying because it felt so special.
Yeah.
Because I should have started this by saying the objective that day was to write a song for the Fast and Furious franchise, but I honestly don't even know if I'm describing it correctly because the song just I'll never understand where the song came from. It just fell into my head. And we really got to know each other that day. It turns out that DJ Frankie, aka Justin, had lost someone really close to him in his life, and I had also lost someone very close to me in my life 2 years prior, and his name was Vale. Vale always said that I would write "See You Again," so maybe, I don't know, maybe that was him throwing the song down to me.
That's amazing.
It's a pretty cool story.
He said that you would what did he say exactly that you would write like a number one hit or you would write the song that would what?
I don't know if he was that specific. He just said I would, because I was just dying to get into the music industry when I was in college. And he said, "You're going to be in the music industry." He would always predict he would always predict the future in like some strange way. He was very I think he was like telepathic. And we would walk up and down the street in Boston pretending to go to class, and I would be like, I don't want to take these classes. All I want to do is be signed and have a publishing deal or a record contract. And he was like, "You're going to have all of that, and you're going to write a really big song too." And he died in 2012 in June. And then 2 years later, in July of 2014, I wrote "See You Again." It's been a long day without you, my friend, because I remember when he died, it felt like it was actually the longest day in summer. It's been a long day without you, my friend. It felt like the longest day. I'll never forget it. And I'll tell you all about that long day, like that what I felt when you passed. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. That's like, it just, everything lined up perfectly that day.
I really believe it's one of some of the best lyrics from that time.
Wow,
in
thanks.
terms of,
Thank
and
you.
it's amazing that it just came to you. I talked to a lot of songwriters and a lot of people, and Chris Martin, Lauren Christie, a lot of these people heavily believe that,
Laura Christie's amazing.
yes,
She's amazing.
that songs, you don't necessarily write songs, but songs often come to you.
Laura Christie, absolutely. totally agree. Laura Christie is one of my favorite people and songwriters. We wrote something in 2014. I'm just remembering it now. And I signed my publishing deal. And it's one of the first people, Julie Frost was one of the first people they put me with. And she's a fabulous songwriter. And we wrote Marvin Gaye and sent it off to CeeLo. CeeLo didn't end up taking it, so I sang it. And then I believe the next week, I got with Laura Christie. And we wrote, I think the song was called, because I just wanted a girlfriend so badly. I was like so lonely being in LA and I just wanted some companionship. And I think the lyric we both wrote was, and it never came out. It was, am I freaking out? Shouldn't I be in love a little bit by now? Like everybody else, I've been living so high. Need somebody to calm me down. Shouldn't I be in love a little bit right now? Oh, it was so good. It was very her. Am I freaking out? Shouldn't I be in love a little bit by now? Like everybody else. I'm living so high, need somebody to hold me down. Shouldn't I be in love a little bit by now? Wow, you just mentioned her name and the whole song came back. That's how powerful music is. Yes. The whole song just came back to me.
First of all, unreleased, right? No one
unreleased. I've never played that for anybody.
That's
it's
crazy.
Something that we wrote.
What's that called? What did you guys end up calling it?
I guess it would be called Shouldn't I Be in Love a Little Bit Right Now, which is a really long title, but maybe that's why it didn't come out. But I remember that now that you mentioned her name.
How do you know which songs to put out? Like that was an example of a song that didn't come out versus like Marvin Gaye, which to me also feels like the song comes a bit from those like early YouTube like comedic days.
Absolutely. God,
really
you are
cool.
good. Absolutely it does. Because we weren't coming up with anything, and I pulled out my YouTube brain and I was like, well, if we're not going to write anything, let's make a funny song. It's Marvin Gaye and Get It On. What does that mean? I don't know. It's 2014. Let's have fun. The sky's bluer. I was so excited just to be in California. I was like, let's just have fun. And then any time I've ever said that, like something great has come about. Now there might be some disagreements, but like that was a #1 record. And I think, I had to really figure out my artistry after that. It was a little tough because then we put out One Call Away and everybody was like, I don't get it. Like that's a completely different song than that other song. And then you See You Again kind of sounds like One Call Away. It was comfortably messy.
See You Again comes out, or even before See You Again comes out, you didn't think you'd be on the song.
No, we had, who was the first person to cut it? It was Jason Derulo. That was can you believe that?
Did you know Jay Cash back?
No, Jason Derulo introduced me.
Oh, that's
Cash.
Cool. That's cool.
And I got to give it to Jason Derulo. He was really, from a songwriting perspective, like I feel like he'll own a record label one day. He has such a good ear. He would go around the entire second floor of the Atlantic building at the time on Cahuenga Boulevard and be like, everybody in this building needs to write. And he had this massive hit out at the time. It meant so much to me. Like he was like, everybody has to write with this kid. And I had a stupid beanie on. I had to go to New Jersey the next day and he was cutting See You Again. And I couldn't believe that like a famous artist was singing my song. Of course, it didn't end up working out because, politically they had to the movie company needed this and this requirement, whatever. But he was the first person to cut that record. And then Chris Brown sang it and it got really close to the original demo. No, sorry, Skylar Grey, because she had I'm Coming Home, I'm Coming Home, Tell the World, because that was the filler song they had in for the movie. It was, if it weren't See You Again, they were going to have I'm Coming Home. I'm coming home. I'm spilling all the tea. It's been like 10 years. It's fine. That didn't work out. She did a really great job, though. I think we always wanted Sam Smith to sing it, but they didn't cut it. And who did I say? Chris Brown. Chris Brown did I think that version's on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, wow.
I think Lil Wayne did a verse. I think, everybody knew that song was slated from the movie, so everybody sang that song. So I went from nobody to knowing me as a songwriter, except the small YouTube community, to suddenly everybody taking me out to Mastro's. It was overnight a success. I still can't believe I came that quickly.
Other people that you mentioned in the past are like Eminem, Adele.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I think Eminem would have gotten on it had Skylar stayed on
that makes sense.
the record, which makes sense because she was signed to him. I'm not sure. I think we were shooting for the stars with Adele, but but the whole point is that it was nobody could get close to the original demo because they didn't feel they didn't go through what I went through when I wrote that song. They might have gone through.
Personal.
Yeah.
And that melody that you played at the top, dun 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 dun, did that come to you too?
So the thing about that, and we've settled it since then. Inadvertently, that was a sample that was being chopped up while we were making the original club banger. You could hear that in the background. And it's super interesting. That's the only time you hear that melody in See You Again. You hear it in the intro and it never happens again. Think about that. And I just replayed it on the piano. It ended up being, we didn't realize it. It ended up being someone's work, and they're credited as songwriters, rightfully so, on the song now.
And throughout the song, you also hear your voice.
Yeah, because DJ Frankie had just put out Tonight I'm Loving You by Enrique Iglesias. If you listen to the beginning of that, right? Yes. I was just, I studied everyone's discography before I went in the session with them.
That's smart. That's prepared.
And I would be like, oh, you know, that thing you did with, I can just do that. It's like, let's, and I knew that.
It's not lowered at all, right? Like the format changed.
No, that's
cool.
just, there's a bit of auto-tune on there to kept because my vibrato is so messy. But like you line it out and it becomes even. I knew that DJ Frankie really loved early Kanye West music, and I was like, you know, we should make it not, I want to be delicate with how I say it because we wrote it ourselves, but we put all of our love and influences, like you can hear them in the song.
See You Again comes out, but it takes how long for, like when you wrote it until it actually because the label probably went back and forth, or the movie company probably went back and forth
with
on
the label and the management
to be like, we want him, but also like,
oh, they didn't want me on the song. They were trying so hard to
find a different
singer, to be like, okay, we feel what we feel when we listen to the Charlie version. We can't put this no-name artist on the song that's for Paul Walker and one of the biggest moments of the entire decade. But I forget, like, and everybody was trying to make it work. Not even my label head at the time was sticking up for me. I think, you know who stuck up? I stuck up for me. There were a couple other people in my corner too, but they also, I don't blame them. They were spinning multiple plates. They were trying to not lose their song's position. They didn't want I'm Coming Home to go back into the rotation. They wanted the song to be See You Again, and everyone loves See You Again. And I think I remember Vin Diesel heard it and was like, can you just meet the kid? And I saw him at a party and I introduced myself. And then after he realized that I wasn't an asshole and I actually like wrote the song and it came, and I told him what I told you about my friend, I think he related to it. And I think the next day we were filming the music video for it. So
Vin Diesel in a way.
Is probably, I'm not going to say he's the only person. There were a lot of, Mike Caron and Kevin Weaver, Vin Diesel. I mean, but yeah, I believe it was, I do believe the decision was ultimately up to him. So
when you finally became an artist, was the artist on the song, was that exciting for you or is that terrifying?
It was terrifying. because I didn't know how to film a music video. Me filming music videos was just me with my flip camera.
Yeah.
Like or my friend Mike from Jersey filming me. It was it wasn't. It was the first time there I saw craft services and multiple cameras, and everyone's there to everyone's looking at me while I am in my little stupid suede blue jacket that one of the label people gave me because they didn't like what I was wearing, because I showed up in like Zara. It's what I could afford.
Yeah. You are officially on the song. They decide to feature you as the artist versus.
Yeah. You know what's so amazing about Wiz Khalifa
Tell me.
too is that they really loved Wiz's delivery, because why wouldn't they? He's Wiz. He's a legend. And in the second verse, they had a note for him. The movie company had a note for him to talk more about family. And he said in the verse, he was like, okay, how could we not talk about family?
When family's all that we
It's
got.
so fucking genius. And it's so so his humor, but like it's one of the most important parts of the song now.
Yeah.
Like that's why he's
That's amazing that it was like,
he's amazing.
we need you to talk more about family.
Okay. How could we not talk about family when family's all that we got?
And that's such an iconic part of the song
It's
now.
iconic, but it was kind of him like minorly taking the piss out of it.
See You Again comes out. One of the biggest songs of the time, like 12 times. You can correct me. 12 times platinum, a lot bigger. I don't know. It's massive.
I don't know where it's at now, but I know that it was really successful.
Was that a lot of pressure on you now because there's this massive song and now you have to put out an album?
At the time, I was 20. I was my 23rd birthday. I turned 23 December 2nd, and I got a membership to the Equinox, and that's what I was. I just wasn't really. I was. Yes, I felt a little bit of pressure, but I was like, oh my God, I can work out at the Equinox now. I can go in my own locker, and like I'm in West Hollywood. This is so great. Like I love it.
It was exciting.
It was exciting. I had never experienced anything so fancy like that. So yes, I didn't carry the stress on my back. I think the people who signed me carried the stress on their back, because they were like, oh my God, we need to figure out who the fuck this kid is, because there's no artistic identity. Okay, let's get him dance lessons. Okay, he can't dance for shit.
You did dance lessons?
Oh God, it's awful. It's somewhere on someone's video camera. It's so bad. I can't dance at all. Okay, he can't dance. Okay, let's just get him a little bit of movement coaching so he knows how to move. God, he's really awkward on stage. I was afraid to sing in front of people and be on stage. What can he do? He can play the piano. Okay, let's do what Bruno Mars does. Bruno Mars just did a video where he's playing the piano in Grenade. Okay, that's going to be Charlie's thing, the piano. I'm like, okay, yes, I've been playing the piano since I was 4. Piano will be my thing. Okay, so it can't just be piano-based music. There needs to be an element of hip-hop. You like hip-hop, don't you, Charlie? Like, yeah, I started, my music production career in hip-hop, listening to Scott Storch, listening to Dre, listening to, X, Y, and Z, learning how to produce beats on my MPC. Yes, I like hip-hop. Okay, you need to have piano and a break beat. That's one call away. That's that. It was very like surface, like, but we need a hip hop feature to make him credible in the hip hop world. So this Instagram models record that I wrote in like 2013 for SoundCloud ended up turning into a Lil Wayne song. So it's a Lil Wayne and me record.
I knew that song before I knew that was like I
Really?
heard that song, and then I heard you talk about the song, and I was like, do I know this song? And I looked it up on YouTube, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know this song.
The original OG version on SoundCloud, or the one with Lil Wayne?
I knew that. Did you come up? Is that your melody? Because I like knew that melody.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I knew that melody.
You probably you're aware of me, or like on the internet maybe in 2014, so maybe you had heard the demo version on SoundCloud before. Maybe you were on the Hype Machine and you heard it. I don't know.
Because it came out years later after.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you might have heard like the earlier version, but we took the earlier version and made it into we made it into a real song with Wayne.
But that didn't end up on. That didn't end up on your album. That was on his.
That was
album.
just, I think that was like a soundtrack song. I think it was like a standalone thing, but its main purpose was to give me credibility. Every shot was me playing the piano, like, because no one knew me. No one believed that I could actually play the piano or write songs for that matter. So if you go back and look at all the videos, I play a piano in every single fucking video to really drive home.
I'm a piano player.
I'm a pianist.
Yeah.
I'm a pianist.
What I remember singing "One Call Away" in my a cappella group, and
That's fitting.
I remember I remember us singing it, but I remember it not being like a big hit at the time. Did that take a while to like catch on?
Oh my God, it took. I would call radio PDs myself. Say, can you please play the record more? Like, if you need me to fly out to Arizona, I will do it. If you need me to do this for you need a birthday message for your cousin. Hey, it's Charlie. Just wanted to wish you happy birthday, Marissa. I remember turning 10 in the year 2000. Tell your dad to play my fucking record, please. I would do stuff like that. It was because radio heard See You Again, which was technically not my, it was a different time. It wasn't technically my record. I was featured on the record, even though I produced and wrote the record. I was still a feature on it. And Marvin Gaye did well in the UK, but like kind of tapped at like 22 here on the Hot 100. And then One Call Away was a very hot AC song, which is like, who cares now? People love like music of all ages now, but it was just different back then.
It's a different vibe.
We had to really grind that record. And then we got that record to #1 at Hot AC, and it was a really big deal. And then We Don't Talk Anymore came out, and that was my first top 10 Billboard Hot 100, and that was an even bigger deal.
We Don't Talk Anymore was like a different, that was like more like your thing.
It was more, it was more of a me thing. And I remember we were mixing another record that I wasn't really, it was fine. I just wasn't like really passionate about it. And I remember going to Larrabee Studios in Hollywood, and we were mixing it, and it was me, Mike Karen, and Miles Beard. We were all sitting in there, and Miles and I really loved We Don't Talk Anymore because it's really about his wife. Now, they had broken up at the time. Miles Beard is a record label executive.
Got it.
Who lives in California. And he and I loved the demo to We Don't Talk Anymore. And I think Mike really liked it as well, but like wasn't sure. And Manny was like, I mixed your song, and I was like, play it really fucking loud. And we don't that kick, like it just, he did something to it. Manny Merrick, when he like just knows how to, I don't know, he's mixed all my records, but he always does something that just makes the drums so punchy. Something that I can't accomplish on my own. With his help, I can. And Mike heard it and was like, oh, this is obviously the next thing that we're putting out. And I was very happy with that decision.
When you say what it's about, what's the story for how that song came about?
So me and my friend Miles Beard were driving around Santa Monica Boulevard, and he was going through a rough time. He had just broken up with his now wife, Mina. And I was like, do you talk to her anymore? And he was like, no, we don't talk anymore. And I was like, we don't talk anymore. Like trying to make a parody song again, but trying to make something funny. We don't talk anymore. We don't. Like,
because you're trying to change the vibe.
I was trying to make a barbershop quartet song, and he was like it was fucked up. He was crying, but he was like, wait, that's kind of good. Record that. And, I feel like I have that original voice note somewhere, if that's of any interest.
That's of a lot of interest.
Let me see if...
the most interest that I could have right now.
Let me see here. We don't talk anymore. August 31st, 2015.
We don't talk anymore. You took them away. And no. We don't talk anymore. You don't know the way.
One done does to do like we used to do. We ended up keeping that.
Is that in the car?
That's in the car, in the Infinity. His Infinity. And then I went on my Asia tour and heard the guitar loop in my head. Ding, ding, ding. Like these song ideas, just if I'm present and I'm not, watching mukbangs and doom scrolling on TikTok, I'm just in the moment.
Is that what you like watching?
Yeah, I
Mukbangs?
love watching food.
Nice.
It's the only thing that turns my brain off. But if I want my brain to be on, I can't be on the internet. I have to have a conversation with myself or a conversation with someone in real life and try and cheer them up. And then they ended up getting back together. And so that song is really written for him.
It's interesting because
Everyone thinks the song is written for somebody else. The song is really written about my friend Miles from Calabasas.
it is really interesting because you just See You Again is a song that's like very personal and connects with you and like, but then the other songs that start coming out, Marvin Gaye, We Don't Talk Anymore, these songs aren't as personal.
Well, I'd say One Call Away isn't as, but We Don't Talk Anymore is personal because of like just life stuff that happened to me.
Got it.
And after the fact, but it started from a personal place. I'd say One Call Away. I didn't write One Call Away. The only part of One Call Away I wrote was in the second verse. But for now, we could but stay here for a while. Because, I just want to see you smile. Because the second verse was too short. So we added like 4 bars to it. That's the only part I wrote. One Call Away was written by Shy Carter, who sang the demo. That's, you know what? I have that too. Let me see here. Let me see.
Wow.
Hold on.
Pulling up the original that's crazy.
The original. And what's crazy is that song is so good. The original demo sounds like a cover. Someone singing the cover now. I think it was called Superman originally.
Superman.
Hold on a second. Yep. May 7th, 2015, written in Montecito, California, at a random house. This was...
I'm only one call away.
I'll preface it with this. We hadn't written anything, and I went upstairs. I had to go to China for the first time the next day, and I was really nervous to leave the country like that. I had never done that before. And then I would end up, visiting China every year after that because I love China, and I love my fans in China. But we weren't coming up with anything that day. And they all sat. Mozilla, Brayon Isaac, Shy Carter, and DJ Frankie, who I wrote See You Again with, were all sitting around the campfire and the fireplace, and they wrote this.
I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me.
So good.
I'm only one call away.
Wow.
That's me playing the piano, but it's like,
So you did write.
all I did on that song was write that one. I didn't write any of the chorus.
So what do you consider the piano? Is that not writing?
Well, they wrote the chords. I just replayed the chords that they wrote. They
got it.
wrote, "One call away, I'll be there to save the day." I ended up, they played it on guitar for me, and then I ended up playing it on piano, writing that one little part, and I was like, you know what, let's up it from C major, let's make it D flat major. Makes it a little bit less kumbaya-y.
You mentioned before that songs like Marvin Gaye hit 22.
Mm-hmm.
One of the songs hit like #1 on Hot AC.
Mm-hmm.
And then See You Again is this massive hit. What did you consider success to be back then as an artist? Like,
Just being in the music industry.
what does that mean?
What I considered a success to be was just being in the music industry, being invited to come into people's houses or studio sessions in Los Angeles, California, and sit around and write a song that could potentially change our lives. That's what a success felt to me. And that's still what it feels like to me. this day. That hasn't changed. Success, I don't define my success on a chart position, and maybe that's easy for me to say because I've had success. But even if a song means so much, like I wrote a song called "Cheating on You," it wasn't an immediate success, but now it's one of my most requested songs. Like I have to put it on the set list. Like 2 years later, it's so chart positions don't define my success. The feeling that I get, the feeling that I get from writing a song, being able to write a song and feel changed as a person in a very short amount of time because of what musically just transpired in the room, that I feel very lucky to be able to do that, and therefore I feel successful.
Did you ever have a fear of failure?
I still have a very normal fear of failure. We're about to put out this album that sounds completely different from anything I've ever done, and I'm not like, I know it's not gonna fail. I worry sometimes that I'm not gonna be understood, and that to me feels like a failure at times. Like I want to be understood. I know people are gonna listen to my music, and if they're not going to like right away, they'll eventually get to it. But my goal with this album is to be understood, and if no one understands me after that, then I don't know where I went wrong.
Do you feel like you've been understood before?
No, but I also don't feel like the only people that understand me are my family. And my wife. I don't really, and her family. Anyone, I still don't feel like people in the industry understand me.
How do you know when people understand you? Like, how do you know? If the goal is to be understood, how do you know when that's happened?
When I'm no longer asked the question anymore. Not that I don't mind being asked the question. Well, that just got really heady. I guess I don't know. I look forward to finding out and figuring that out. I just I know that I delayed people getting to know me for a very, very long time, and the way to do that is through the music.
I love it.
I'm still figuring it out.
So you're trying to figure out your artistry back then, and then comes the second album.
Yeah.
With Attention.
Yeah.
Which is the anti-drop kind of.
Yeah, it's the trillion bass line. Boo boop 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 boom 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 boom. Chromatic approaches and these R&B. All that stuff disguised into pop music, which again, going back to my friend Mikey Keenan, he was probably the reason why I allowed myself to even make that album. Like one of the reasons in implementing the R&B into pop.
And also implementing the... Did you ever get a chance to implement jazz into the pop music you were writing with that album?
Yeah, many times over. I mean, if you listen, I have a song called Boy, which is all displaced by an eighth note. There's a whole, I think in like 2.5 minutes into the record, there's a whole jazz solo that I still struggle playing to this day because we sped the tape up, and it's so fun to play. It's a musician's favorite song. It's my favorite song to play live because it's just, the pocket is so groovy. And, you know, if you listen to How Long Has This Been Going On? She said, boy, tell me honestly, was it real or just for show? That's like the Great American Songbook chord, like a Frank Sinatra chord. It's all jazz on that album.
I've heard people talk about you, and I don't know if you agree with this, but like the way and how talented you are come across as like a musical prodigy, where it comes to like, whether that be like perfect pitch, whether that be like how quickly you're able to pick up songs based on memory. A lot of people who are so talented and knowledgeable around music have a hard time coming up with simplicity in music. How are you able to do that?
Because I care. I believe I'm able to, and I don't always nail it. I'll preface it with that. But when I do nail it, It's because I was thinking about the listener before myself. I never make a song and think, oh, this is going to make me look so cool. I always consider it's the school dance. It's me wanting to make music for my classmates, except I'm not in school anymore and I'm 34 years old. But there's people around the world that I still want to have that feeling from listening to my music. I'm always considering other folks. So what do you do to get to them? You make the music simple. You don't make it dense and complicated where you alienate a lot of people who aren't taking in music in the same way that maybe you and I are every single day. They just want to casually listen to music and just relate to something with some simple chords, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I always have that in mind. I have the person in mind listening to it.
Are you methodical, mathematical when it comes to like melodies too, or is it just like whatever comes to mind first? Like the melodic math, like Max Martin or like that camp is like very specific on the melodies.
As long as it doesn't impede with the feeling of why we're writing the record. As long as, well, we already sang a C sharp, so we can't do, if it feels good, like sing the C sharp. Don't not do something because you did it 2 notes ago. Just whatever, like Bill Withers did, I know. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I know. He just did that for like a minute. That's not math, and it's everyone's favorite part of that song now.
I heard you talk previously about like ranges of songs and how like there's a certain range where like both guys and girls can sing along to. What is that range, and like, do you ever think about that when you're making songs?
I do, but a little less now, because I'll hear some of the hardest melodies in the highest keys that are immensely popular. Die on This Hill.
Yeah.
I know nothing could matter. She's singing it. Nothing could matter. Gotta wish something mattered to you. I mean, I struggle to sing that because I didn't warm up, but like, I know nothing could matter. Oh, it's so beautiful. Michael Pollack, Omer Fetty. Gotta wish something mattered.
Blake?
And Blake Slackin' too. To you. My friends make my favorite music, but that melody is so hard to sing. And
yeah, to me, like those songs are kind of the ones that you like listen to because they're so incredible at singing too, versus like the songs you'd sing along to. Like Adele, you can sing along to certain songs, but then you wouldn't sing along to others.
Well, the thing that's most striking about that bridge, I'll be na 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 na. Forgive me, I don't know all the words. Na 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 na. It's the dissonance and the constant resolve. It's like any human ear could hear that. Na 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 na. Where are we going? We're not going up. We're going down. We're still not going up. We're going down. No, I know you don't care. I know nothing could matter. God, where could we possibly go? It's like you energetically you want to go. God, I wish something mattered to yo. Like it's like the chords are leading you on to like where like you feel like you already know the song before it even happens.
Yeah.
That's why that song and that particular part has resonated so much with people. Me, like it's my favorite song. One of my favorite songs ever written. I tell all of them. That's
lovely.
I'm a fanboy. I love it. That's a very hard melody to sing. So I kind of go back on what I say. Like it doesn't. Yes, you want everybody to be able to comfortably sing your song, but sometimes it's fun if you can't, and you just like scream your heart out and you sing off key. And
what is the range for everyone to sing along to?
I think it's so subjective because you listen to Dream Lover by Mariah Carey, 1995. She's doing whistle tones that the likes of Ariana Grande and Mariah can do. nobody can hit those notes, but it's just, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't go past an F for it to be comfortable for people, but it's music. It's
Yeah,
that's not like, just because I say it's not the rule.
What makes you feel? Like feeling trumps anything else in a way.
Feeling is more important than any mathematical equation in your music. It doesn't have to be, there's no correct way to write a song. That's why I never got on with the songwriting classes in college, because you can't teach someone how to write a song. Soulja Boy made Crank That on cracked Fruity Loop software.
Yeah.
And with stock sounds. There's like, Miles is one of my favorite rappers right now. He makes there's no way he's being like, well, I already said this and that. Like, I can't, the math isn't mathing. Like, he's not even like checking the gain stage. He's just like turning the mic on, cranking that shit and screaming into that shit. But it feels exciting.
Yeah. What song would you say was the hardest to write for you?
Ooh. Probably Changes, which is the brand new one.
Interesting.
Because again, I didn't think anybody would want to hear about my falling out with a friend. I thought people wanted me to just like do the Charlie Puth thing and just.
What is the Charlie Puth thing?
Just like songs like How Long and Attention, and like I about songs about other people with me in the mix, like not just songs about me. But it turns out that people have had falling outs with close friends as well, and they can relate to that. So maybe that's why the song is doing well. I don't know. Maybe I tend to overthink, but I resisted. There's a song that no one's heard yet called I Used to Be Cringe, which is, again, kind of funny sounding.
It's a very personal song, though.
You've heard it.
Yeah. I wrote down.
It's very personal, but it's like, it almost sounds like it's like a Broadway play song, kind of. I don't know a lot about Broadway songs, but it feels
very story driven. It feels like
Yeah.
It feels also very personal and confessional on your end. I was gonna wait to bring up all the new songs for the album. But
Sure,
I wrote down. I'm trying to find it because I want to get the titles right.
That's okay if you don't. But I resisted finishing that for a very long time. But like, as older songs that were the hardest to write, I think How Long Has This Been Going On was like a really challenging song for me to finish, just on a technical.
It's like very like rhythmic and like jazzy though at the same time in certain.
There's oh God, what is it called? Oh my mind. There's a John Mayer song called Moving On and Getting Over, where he does, but I still can't seem to get you off my mind. It's really groovy, but he sings on top of the kick drums. And then I heard another song where someone did that too. They sing on top of the kick drum. It's punctual. And then it made me think, how long has this been going on? Why can't the percussion be part of the melody? So that was a hard thing to accept in my mind, because I was like, it has to be a chord progression over that. And no, it can just be a bass line, and you have to keep an open mind always when you're writing a song. And it took me a while to get there on that one.
Have you always had an open mind while writing?
Yes, just not in the YouTube days. When I was making songs completely by myself, I remember, Cara Diaguardi.
Yes.
She.
I don't know her personally though.
She would be someone interesting to interview as well, or have a conversation with. People don't seem to like the word interview anymore. Have a conversation with.
That's interesting that you say that. That's true.
Yeah, people don't say like, oh, it's not an interview. This is my podcast. It's like kind of that vibe now. But 2012, Cara came to Berkeley and taught a songwriting class, and everybody was trying to get in. I wrote her a letter. I was like, I will do this, that. I want to be in this class. I want to learn. Even though I never liked how to write a song classes at Berkeley, this was more of a write a song and show it to me, and I'll give you my honest feedback as a successful songwriter. So I was dying to get into that class. And she wrote me an email saying, this song, the melodies are great. The piano sounds nice and clean, but the lyrics are no good. You need to work with somebody to achieve a better storyline here. Work with someone. This person's really good at lyrics. I got so offended. I was like, my lyrics are great. I have 100,000 YouTube subscribers. That's just young 19-year-old me. So maybe that was the time where I wasn't super open-minded, but I kind of talked to myself and I was like, these lyrics are ass. You should work with someone who's a bit better at them than you.
But you feel like you've like improved as a lyricist?
Absolutely, because I listen to people. People inadvertently will say the coolest lyrics. I think like that's where the phrase "I feel like I've heard this song before" comes from. It's because you've said it. You've said how long has this been going on? Hey, you just want attention. What have you done for me? That was already a song by Janet Jackson.
We don't talk anymore.
We don't talk anymore. There's been some changes. There's I guess it's Marvin Gaye and Get It On is kind of strange, but I'll see you again. It's most of my song titles I would say are conversational.
They're relatable too in a way because of that.
Yeah, because I want people to listen to them. I want them to feel like they've heard them before.
So, Change is a very upbeat song, even though it's this like melancholy, like sad message. What made you go upbeat for that kind of message?
If I disguise the music, if I can I'll put it to you this way. I feel more comfortable telling people what the song is about if there's a musical distraction behind it. Like I can't, what I always have trouble with? I always have trouble with those, the Genius things where they make you sing the lyrics without any music behind it because you really hear what the song is about. But if I put a little vibrato, make it fast. Lately there's been something in the air versus lately there's been something in I got the Steve Winwood like drums. It's like kind of like 1992 sounding. There's stuff going on that allows me, it's like my smoke and mirrors to get the message forward.
What's your thoughts on revealing what a song is about versus letting the audience interpret it?
I would much rather the audience interpret it because we've mentioned it 100 times, but See You Again started as an in memoriam song, but as it marinated in culture and time for such a long time, the meaning changes every day because of people. So I want to talk to people about what they feel the song means to them. That's more interesting to me. I know what it means to me. I don't have to be like, this is what the song's about, and that's it.
I had the privilege of listening to the new album, and one of the things that stood out the most was the crazy features on there.
Oh, it's out of control. Kenny
G, coming in, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I had the privilege of seeing Kenny G live recently.
Oh, really?
When he came out for the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
And then he played the Titanic theme.
That's
it was crazy.
Oh my God, that's so on the nose, but I love Kenny. He's a good friend of mine.
And then also,
Where did he do that? Oh, for the Jonas Brothers concert. Okay, yeah.
He also played the song, the Christmas song he did with them.
That's fun.
Like Raven Lenae, Hikaru Utada.
Yeah.
Like Coco
Jones, yeah.
From Let It Shine.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Coco.
Underrated.
Amazing vocalist. Raven, amazing vocalist. Hikaru, icon. Japanese city pop icon, and so much more. They're amazing. Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, that's insane.
And Jeff Goldblum.
Okay. That was one of the coolest things ever to hear that, and also him singing. I don't know if you like, if I can, we can cut that if needed. That was like one of the biggest surprises ever. I freaked out when I heard that.
That makes me happy. I wanted it to feel theatrical. I wanted to feel theatrical in a way, and that song kind of when he's saying "Well, boys," if I could tell you one thing, we looped the song for 8 bars for like an hour, and I just simply said, Jeff, connect with what's going on musically, and just talk to me like you would talk to, like give advice to me like I was your son. Turns out he has a son named Charlie, And
Oh, wow.
he didn't tell me that while he was doing it, but I think by design, he was like, you know, I have a son named Charlie. And I was like, wow, that's like, we were all crying in the studio when he was doing that because, and Bloodpop does not tear up, but like he was just in his chair, just like wiping his glasses. It was just such a amazing moment.
How did the whole Jeff Goldblum feature? How'd that even happen?
I found out that Jeff loved jazz. I wasn't privy to the fact that he was an accomplished jazz pianist. Like he had a jazz orchestra.
I didn't know.
Oh my God, we just saw him the other night at the Troubadour. He's fantastic.
Wow.
And anybody who loves music as much as I do, I want to be around them. So we got in touch, and I played on his record, and he played on my record, and he came to my show. I came to his show. We're just big fans of each other.
One of my favorite lines on the album is one where there isn't a feature, actually. And
Which one?
I think I keep hearing everyone always say, "Don't meet your heroes."
Yeah.
But the ending line, "without knowing yourself,"
without
like
knowing.
stood out the most
Mm-hmm.
because, in a sense, you can meet your heroes, but you need to know who you are first.
Yeah. The reason why I said that is for that reason exactly. Being suddenly having everybody's phone number, and you grew up watching them on MTV. They were cartoon characters to you. Like they didn't even seem like real people, and suddenly you're in their house, and they're asking things of you, like if you can help them out with something, and then realizing that there's an ulterior motive the entire time. It's heartbreaking, and it changes you. You wish you kept them in that little part of your life where you didn't know too much. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to that song.
Do you feel like you know yourself now?
I definitely know myself now. There's parts of me that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and I look forward to getting to know that version of myself, like when I'm 40. But I used to not know myself, which is why I kind of, would dye my hair blonde and just try different things, because I didn't know what I thought I was supposed to be what people expected me to be.
I think and for a selfish reason, I want to know how you discovered that. I want to know how you discovered like being okay with who you are as a human being okay with letting people in now,
Mm-hmm.
and then also being okay and,
Right.
and accepting and knowing yourself, like how you learn that.
I think it was always there for me. I kind of just pushed it to the side and thought to myself, well, that's rather boring. That's so soft and expected. Like I have access to everything now. I can buy this car. That's going to make me happy. It didn't make me happy. I can buy this house. That's going to make me happy. That didn't make me happy. I can have, this group of friends that I would have never imagined asking me to hang out. They're asking me to hang out now. They're going to make me happy. They're going to be entertaining. They wanted something. I didn't know myself. I was trying different things. And I think it was my 30th birthday where I knew about 5% of the people that showed up, and everybody else was just a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and there for the wrong reasons. And I remember being like crying at my 30th birthday party, and like something isn't right here. I think that's where that started. There wasn't a specific incident. It was just, I don't know, just growing up and turning 30 and realizing that I really didn't have anyone that close to me. It was just a bunch of filler.
You have been in a position now where you've been very successful for a long time. How do you weave through the noise of knowing if this is a person who's genuine versus someone who wants something for an ulterior motive?
Um, I guess I'm not always gonna get it right, but I feel like I have a really strong idea of I can just smell it now. I've just been doing this too long. And but again, even when I was 24, I knew too, like, oh, this is like a this thing or this person or what have you doesn't have my best interest at heart. But I'm just going to ignore it because it's kind of fun. And I have all this, I have this access now. This is going to make me happy. I'm going to ignore what my gut is telling me. I don't ignore my gut now.
Got it. What makes you happy now?
Music. Music makes me so happy. People making memories in front of my eyes to music I made or music that my friends made or music that someone else made. I'm not familiar with them. Quincy Jones, I used to sit with Quincy Jones and he told me that there's 12 notes and an infinite amount of songs to be written. Like knowing that there's a love song that hasn't been written yet, and when it's written, people are going to be like, why didn't I write this? Why didn't I think of this? There's an infinite, like numbers, there's an infinite amount of examples of that. And knowing that I could happen across the correct room one day or eat the right thing one day or be hydrated enough where my brain's working properly and it just falls into that idea falls into my brain again. Because the thing is, I believe all of these songs that we're talking about were written. This is just something I believe. I believe all these songs we're talking about were written millions and millions of years ago. And in some shape or some way, maybe it wasn't even music. Maybe it was like a different form of taken in media that we can't even really comprehend as humans now. I just believe it was made a really, really like maybe hundreds and hundreds of millions of years ago in a different art form. I believe art's always existed. Maybe it was just in a different kind of way. And that's why I'm not the only one that says, oh, the song just fell out of the sky. Maybe it was in the sky. Maybe it was up there and we're just searching. And they're like, okay, we're ready. We're going to fall into this person's head now. That's what it's a little crazy, but I believe See You Again was already a song.
That's really cool. I don't think I've heard that one yet.
Yeah, I'm a little weird. But
Same. How often do you make music then? If like music makes you happy, are you doing it all the time, every day?
I never make it until I can hear something in my head. Usually happens when I'm taking a shower, driving with a group of friends, if I'm in a good mood, or I feel inspired by my surroundings, by nature. That's why I moved to the middle of nowhere. I'm inspired by my surroundings that aren't musical, and my goal is to turn them into music. It doesn't happen every day, but when it does, it's very special.
Did you work in here for the new album?
Yeah, I made the entire album right here.
Were you in Bloodpop like right over here? And
yeah,
what's your guys' collaboration process? Like, are you in the back? Is he in the front? Are you switching often?
There used to be a couch right there. We've replaced it with more pianos because we're until we move into the new house. There's a severe lack of space here. But Blood would sit on the couch or on the floor with his gaming PC, and he had a really interesting process where he would start each song on his gaming PC where he didn't have every plug-in, he didn't have every sound, because it's the limitations that made him use a different part of his brain. Meaning that I'll do that too sometimes, where I just like, I have my laptop on the tour bus and I don't have a keyboard and I have to draw every note in. And that's like the perfect limitation for me. That kind of forces me to use a different part of my brain. He would make stems on the gaming PC, and I'd send them over here to my music PC, Music Mac, and if there was a sound that was super digital sounding, I would layer it with something real, like a real Rhodes or a real Moog sound or something, and just make it a bit more musical sounding.
Using a gaming PC to make computer or music is kind of crazy.
No, he was designing a game. He's a gamer. He can code. Like, he's very impressive with that.
So he's making music in a game.
and sending me the stems. Like he's
Is he
making
making a DAW in the game?
I think he was working in a DAW that he made in the game. He was very, very.
How do you even
very,
export?
I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even think I'm explaining it correctly, but he showed me it, and he's on the Discord, and people are talking about, oh, I don't like this part of the game, and they're like, oh, how do I move up? I hit up arrow, and he's like sending me piano like stems, but it reminds me of how like Nintendo music was made. Which is iconic. It's iconic, and there were so many limits. I was explaining to my friend last night the reason why that music is so jazzy and dense, and it's because of all the people that were responsible for it musically, fitting all of these layers musically into a small little Commodore 64, all early 90s like computer. It was all 8-bit, and you had to make a drum sound, you had to like really get creative with white noise and pitch it down to make the kick drum, and pitch it up to make the clap, and pitch it up again to make the hi-hat. It's the limitations that inspire the creativity.
That's really good.
Yeah.
The limitations inspiring creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I've never made a song in a studio with everything. It's very rare that I sit down here, crack my fingers, and I'm like, okay, let's make a song. It's because I'm not around my equipment. That's when I come up with We Don't Talk Anymore.
And then you use the equipment after you've come up with it.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I hear the song in my head, and I pull it out of my head, reverse engineer.
How did Bloodpop help you make more music for you?
He told me I had to. He told me I had to make music for me. He said in a very sarcastic tone, he was like, oh, you're going to make another breakup song? I'm like, well, some people like those. And he would go, yawn. You ever written a song for your dad before? I'm like, oh my God, who is this person? He was like, oh, he showed me something that someone wrote about me once, and it like upset me. And he was like, how does this make you feel? Let's write a song about it. I'm like, I don't want to. And he was like, but this is what art is. He would say, this is what you haven't written about. Like, you can only take so much of one thing. Law of diminishing returns. Write about something that people wouldn't expect you to write about. I was like, interesting.
Was that uncomfortable?
Very. I resisted it. I resisted finishing some of these songs I made with him for a year. But once I was in, we made this album in 2 months.
How long does it normally take you to finish an album? Like, is that quick, or is that
That's
long?
very quick.
Okay.
It usually takes me like a year to finish an album. I'm very slow. I'm quick to come up with the ideas and slow to finish them, in my opinion.
On the album that you currently have that's coming out, what would you say was the song that challenged you the most?
Cringe. I used to be Cringe. I'm still getting used to saying the title, because Cringe it sounds like an internet word, but
I feel like it kind of is.
It kind of is. And I don't know. I'm like, is it a funny song? Is it a sad song? Is it a happy song? I don't know. But I've learned to kind of just accept things.
When you think of the word cringe, what does it mean to you?
It makes me think of someone just being very honest with who they are, not putting up a front. Sexy Shades by 18-year-old me in Boston, Mass is cringe, but that's me.
Yeah.
I enjoy comedy. I enjoy humor. I like making people laugh. Me being slightly left of center and awkward on camera sometimes and tripping over my words is, I say cringy things, but it's like, it's honest. What's opposite of cringe is pretending to be cool. Like, or that one phase of mine where I was, like I said, dyeing my hair and like, talking all, like, I can't even do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to be cool. Someone asked me the other day at a rehearsal space, they were like, why do you like, you're so humble? I'm like, what am I supposed to be? None of this is about me. This is about my love of music. I'm not supposed to like act like the shit. Why would I act like the shit? What even is acting like the shit? Like, what are we here for? We're here to celebrate art. I just, it serves me no purpose, because that's why people didn't get to know me for a long time. I was me, but I wasn't allowing me to come out. This is getting very heady right now.
Do you feel like though the most genuine version of yourself is the coolest version of Charlie though?
Absolutely.
I agree.
It is the most genuine. The most genuine version of me happens to be the coolest version of me. And the most genuine version of me loves music and loves music education and thinks that every class should start off with just a little bit of art and a little bit of music education, because nobody realizes how much it can color the rest of their day just by putting on a song, painting a picture. Like, music is always the last thing to get funded. I want to be the band geek that stands in front of that.
Do you believe anyone can write a song?
Yes, I do believe anybody. I actually think the less you know about music, the better song you make sometimes. I have to, again, the limitations. If you don't have perfect pitch, this is the real tea. You don't have to have perfect pitch to make a record. In fact, it's probably better you don't. It's better to not know everything about music, because then you're just tapping into your innermost human. Not one of us are more similar than the other person. We're all uniquely different. We all have something to say. So if you tap into your innermost human and you know how to play like a couple of like, did you ever listen to, I remember the first time I heard Pretty Girl by Clairo. She made it herself on iMovie. You ever see that here? I could be. She wasn't like, oh, that's a G minor fucking upside down, whatever the fuck. It was just chords that felt good under her tone. And she was talking about something that was honest to her. That's the song that launched her. She did that herself.
Do you think it's better to know how to play an instrument to write songs, or you don't think it's needed?
I think it's helpful. I don't think it's needed. You would expect the answer to be so different from me. It's like you have to be. This is why I always disagree with a lot of my teachers. You don't have to be proficient at any instrument to be a human. And music is an art form that is one of the most human things. It's like, why am I going to be like, well, you can't do this, that, and this, and you can't talk about the time you got cheated on and whatever because you don't know how to play a G minor 5. Fuck you, Jesus Christ! Like, come on, like, just be you're a person. Like, I want like that. It's fine if you are good at what you do, but I find that the people who are really, really, really good, who can play every chord and sing every riff, it sounds amazing, and they have amazing voices, and they have amazing tone and whatnot, but I'm missing something emotionally. I have to back myself off a lot sometimes when I'm like, sometimes I tend to throw a lot of, everything in, and the message is lost. That's why I look forward to getting together with collaborators who might not know as much as me musically, but know what to subtract. And I've gotten a lot better at knowing myself what to take out.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to take something away than put something in. Absolutely.
Prince was really good at that. Prince could play every instrument, could sing any style, multi-instrumentalist, like genius level of talent. And then at the very, very end, right an hour before he's supposed to turn in When Doves Cry, he's like, take the bass out. And his engineer would be like, the bass that we spent days recording, that, yeah, take it out. It doesn't need bass. Genius.
That's insane. One of the very important pieces to you, like that you are doing now and have been, I feel like, for a while, because there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of people also who make content. Mm-hmm. You are very good at both, and there's a lot of artists who aren't necessarily as good. And I'm like coming this up off the spot. And I think the real reason I'm realizing
that, by the way, thank you,
that you're great at it is because of your why. Because of the reason you're doing it is because you want to inspire other people to start making music.
Absolutely.
So you have like a way stronger version than just trying to promote a song. Even though like the videos you are making are still like promoting the music that you're putting out in a certain capacity.
Yeah, I'm also cognizant of that too. If an educational video of mine reaches a lot of people, I know that I'm not an idiot. I know that it gives people a better opportunity to be like, oh, I wonder if he's released anything on Apple Music or Spotify, or oh, he has. Let me listen to it. Like, I'm cognizant of that, but that's not why I do it.
That comes back from the YouTube days,
Mm-hmm.
from doing content. But did you have to like change your process at all for like making content now, or do you think it's like pretty similar?
I think there's elements that are very similar. There's a element of self-deprecation, not taking myself too seriously. That is always that I've never strayed away from that. I've never acted, in my opinion, I've never acted cool on my own page, on my YouTube page, on that's a train, by the way. We live close to a train.
Have you ever taken it?
It's just in Acela. I think it goes to downtown.
Got it.
I guess I have acted cool, but not on my own page. I just care too much about music ed.
Do you think about content differently as an artist? Because like also there were like times like Light Switch is a great example. Did you expect that video to go as viral as it did?
No. I remember I mentioned Jeff Levin. I've just re-signed to Atlantic, to a new sector of Atlantic, and Jeff was my main point person. And I thought, well, Jeff, if we're not going to the radio stations right now because it's the middle of COVID, like, how am I going to promote this song? And he was like, just tell people how you made it. And without even thinking, I'm like, okay, what if I started out with this element here, this little bass, and then I added, I don't know what this is. It's a phone. Like, it's my phone. I'm holding it up. I'm filming it myself because I was the only one in the studio. And I was like, I know, I'll just reverse engineer like I do in my brain while writing songs. I'll give people a sneak peek into how I come up with songs. I reverse engineer it. Add this. And you get this song. I got the idea from watching the Food Network. Like, have you ever seen, like, I watch a lot of mukbangs, so and how food is made? Have you ever seen
Chopped?
Yeah, like how it. But have you ever seen like the '90s Food Network, like how a Twinkie how a Twinkie's made?
And also they do those on YouTube now, now like Reese's peanut butter cups are made.
Exactly. First we start with the peanut butter filling, and then you take the outer coating of chocolate. I don't know how to cook, and then it goes through a freezing process. That's, if people are intrigued. It's my dad on the phone. If people are intrigued as to how their favorite food's made, how the McNuggets are made, why wouldn't they be intrigued of how their favorite songs are made?
The video comes out. Did you have the song done before that video came out?
I had the song halfway done.
So then there was like a big like race to the finish line to actually like finish it?
Well,
because it didn't come out for a long time after that point.
Yeah, because it was a different time in the industry where we had to, with all these political reasons, oh, you don't want to get in the way of this artist's release, oh, we have to talk to this person, and we have to play the record to this person first. None of that stuff really exists anymore. It's just if your audience interacts with the song, then the song grows. AKA the song has to be good and has to like hit the zeitgeist a little bit. But we had the song done in September. That's when the song was done, when I made that video. And then the song came out in January and still did really, really well. I regret not putting it out sooner, though. But it was a very transitional point in the music industry.
Also a learning lesson.
Absolutely.
What did you learn from that experience? Like, what do you do differently now?
I don't really worry about schedules too much. And I don't worry about like, oh, if you put a song out and no one's going to understand it right away, maybe they're not meant to understand it right this second. Maybe this song has to come out to give them perspective to then go back to that song. Or maybe they don't understand both songs, but then they see me play it at Madison Square Garden and like against all the other songs that they already know. And now they suddenly know my personality more and understand why I made this album. Maybe it just took them physically traveling somewhere to see me play live and then take the video recording back and listen to it. Like, I like the song now. It sometimes takes me a second to like songs.
What's your relationship with perfectionism?
I am a perfectionist, but again, I gotta back myself off sometimes because if it's too perfect, it just becomes stiff.
Do you have any advice to not be such a perfectionist for people who are?
My advice would be, and I still have to follow this advice, I'm not a perfect person, but you have to realize that none of us are perfect. Sometimes it's nice if the vocal goes off pitch. It feels more relatable. And when you're cutting a vocal, making a song, don't punch in every single phrase. Don't punch in every single breath. Like maybe sing it down, live with the song for a couple days, and then come back fresh the next morning or night, whatever you feel most inspired, and then sing it all the way down, and that's the vocal, because it's going to feel the loosest and most relatable.
Speaking of relatable, you talked about your dad earlier and making a song for him.
Yeah.
What was that song like to make? And you talked earlier about like resistance for it.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about? Where did that come from?
Bloodpop told me that I should consider writing a song for my dad because he said one day he might need it. I was like, what does that mean? And then a week later, his mom at 94 passed away. She moved on to her next life. And obviously, it's an amazingly long life, but he's very sad. I've never seen him so upset before. And I realized that I already wrote a song with him in mind, like telling him that it's okay to, you can tell me about your emotions, father to son. You don't always have to be the hero and remain strong, tough exterior. It actually made our relationship stronger than it already was. And a song did that. Blood can predict the future. Sometimes it's kind of crazy.
Like your other friend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, maybe we're all related to each other in some way. Maybe blood's a little
years
bit
ago.
Yeah, from maybe. I don't know. It's unlikely, but is it?
True. What is your piece of advice for anyone out there who wants to be a creative, wants to do music professionally, wants to be an artist, songwriter?
Mm-hmm. My advice would be to not copy anybody. Don't copy a chart. Just because that song I was telling you about before, I know nothing could matter. Just because that song is so amazing doesn't mean that you should try and copy that exactly. You can be inspired by it, but don't rip it off. Make something that's uniquely amazing, that you think is uniquely amazing. Don't look at a chart and be like, well, the trend right now, it doesn't matter. People more than ever want to hear from humans. And in this day and age where it's getting a little freaky, people are starting to not be able to distinguish between artificially made music and human music. Now is the most important time to be human.
Your Professor Puth series often talked about AI.
Mm-hmm.
It talked about interpolation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting pieces with that. Do you see AI as a tool? And do you think people are using it in the wrong way right now?
I think it depends. Do you know Randy Travis, the country singer? I'm gonna love you forever.
Yeah.
Forever and ever, amen. He unfortunately had a stroke. He's still living. He's a country legend. He had a stroke in, I believe it was 2008, 2009. He can't sing the way that he used to sing, but he can still write. He went in the studio maybe a year or 2 years ago and had this demo from, I believe it was the 90s. I'm paraphrasing. But he had this demo. They had a demo singer in Nashville come in and kind of sing in the way that Randy would sing. And then they AI'd his voice to make him sound like a younger Randy Travis. And Randy was completely cognizant and aware of what the song needed to sound like. He was in the session, just wasn't feasibly able to hit the notes. But because of that engine, whatever they use to make his voice sound like him, he heard his idea come to life. That's a good way, in my opinion. Good way of using AI.
Over the last few years, I've sat down with some of the greatest minds in all of music, and they've told me stories and given me some of the best tips that changed my entire perspective on creating. And I'm looking to give that to you because I'm hoping that it can help you just as much as it helped me. My goal with Behind the Wall is to shine a light on the people and stories behind music, movies, and media. It's to inspire the next generation of creatives, but it's also to create the platform that I wish I had when I first started making music, when I first started being creative, when I first started making videos. Behind the Wall has taught me so much on this journey, and I want to take these lessons that I've learned and help the next generation. So I put together 15 of the most important and impactful lessons that I've learned on my own journey from these people directly, from some of the greatest minds in all of music. People like Chris Martin of Coldplay, Benny Blanco, Ryan Tedder, Julia Michaels, Amy Allen, Bonnie McKee, Savan Kotecha. So many of the greatest minds in all of music, people that I had the pleasure and privilege of interviewing. People like Ryan Tedder, who gave me one of the greatest pieces of advice that helped me on my own journey. People like Benny Blanco, who changed my entire perspective 6 years into making music. People like Marshmello, who taught me that as long as something sounds good to you, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And I'm looking to pass this knowledge on to you, which will be 15 lessons from the greatest minds in music, which will be in the description completely for free. And now let's return to Behind the Wall.
As more of a selfish question now, you've done a lot of collaborating with artists.
Mm-hmm.
As someone, myself, who's going to start doing more and more collaborations on the songwriting front, what is your advice to how, like, the best way to come in to a session to make sure that, like, a session is successful when it comes to working with artists, with other producers? Like, what's your advice for that?
My advice would be to, you know, if you're an artist, walk in like you're an artist. You can, like, come in with a little vibe, wear your sunglasses, do your thing, but never act like you're better than the people that are in the room. Just because I've had a certain amount of success and I walk into a room with people who are just getting started or might not even have had success yet, I'm never gonna talk to them like they're beneath me, because we all have the same goal. Music does not play favors. We're all here to make a song. I guess I have that mentality because people have had that mentality with me when I was a budding songwriter. Cedar and Frankie didn't look at me like, oh, who's this kid? They were listening to me. We should all listen to each other because sometimes people have really good ideas.
So listen more.
Mm-hmm.
When you were a songwriter, was the vibe differently? Like, what did you do something different as a songwriter than what you do now?
I think when I came up in the industry, it was more pitched bass. It was write a song for this artist at 10 a.m. and at 7 p.m. you're going to write a song for this artist. I feel like I think the energy is more centered around finished projects now, which is kind of cool. People seem to care about albums again. I think that's been the most dramatic difference.
Your new album is coming out very soon.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to say, like, to your fans about it, about this new album, about, like, what you hope people take away from it?
What do I hope people take away from listening to Whatever's Clever? I hope the people that were... I hope my day one fans that were with me from, like, the YouTube days understand me even more and don't feel like it's such a dig to get to the truth of me. And I feel like the people that might have been on the fence about me, I feel like I've given them something that's a little bit more palatable now, where they can potentially understand me too. My never-ending quest to be understood, and maybe I can accomplish that through music.
I'm excited to see people get the chance to understand you more.
Well, that's very nice of you.
When I started Behind the Wall, it was to shine a light on people and stories behind music, movies, and media, but it was also to inspire the next generation of creatives, and that's slowly becoming inspiring myself at the same time. And one of the people I always wanted to talk to was you.
Really?
So, oh yeah, 100%.
Well, this is a full circle moment. So you do amazing work, and you are really good at what you do.
Thank you.
I can tell that you, like, really care about this, and you're not just doing it for, like, any wrong reason. Like you really care about like the craft, and that shows through your questions.
I appreciate you saying that. That means the world coming from you, especially someone who's been doing interviews for like your entire musical professional career as an artist. You've seen, I saw some of the interviews that like happened also like weren't on you. Some of them were crazy that like people were doing back in the day, like 10 years ago. So that means a lot coming from you.
It was a different time. I have no regrets, but I'm happy where I am right now. And you must be pretty happy where you are too, because I feel like it's just getting started for you. I feel like it's really just like starting to heat up for you.
I hope so.
No,
Hopefully.
I see it.
Thank you. My question for you randomly is, do you have a favorite candy?
Oh, Laffy Taffy.
Any other, like what about second or third favorite candy?
I really love a Mars bar.
What about like fourth or fifth?
Wait, what's going on?
A long time ago, you said someone asked you a question, and they were like, "What's your favorite candy?" It was like a fan interview.
Okay,
it was like 10 years ago.
It
was like, "What's your favorite?"
A Reese's peanut butter cup or something like that
with
ice cream.
You would like put them on top of each other like a sandwich or something like that.
Oh, man, I said a lot.
I can't believe it's not.
I don't know what the fuck I said.
Butter finger.
Butter. Oh my god, I do love a Butterfinger. Wait, what did I say?
You just said that you really loved Reese's peanut butter cups and Butterfingers, and you would put them together in like a sandwich.
Man, I'm so full of shit. I never did that shit. I was probably just waiting to go to lunch. I just wanted some like, you know what that was? That was like cutesy, like, oh, he's so cute. He's so quirky. That's so quirky of him. I'm gonna write this about on my Wattpad later. He's so quirky. I'm going to do that too.
Well, I got you what I thought was your favorite candy.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my wife's going to kill me. Where did you get this?
I had it. But I also got you, I write everyone a thank you card.
Oh,
I interview.
2 music notes.
With a smiley face. So that's...
Honestly, they changed the recipes of this, but this shit still slaps. This is great. That's very nice of you.
So I'm very honored to officially interview you today. I'm gonna say interview you. You know, we went over your story.
No,
we had a great conversation.
It's a great conversation, and I really appreciate the genuine, nice questions.
Of course. Is there anything else that like you would want to like say, be of value to you? Anything I didn't go over? Anything we didn't go over?
No, just to all the creatives show up to always show up even when you don't want to, because writing songs is like printing out free lottery tickets. Somebody said to me one time, can you imagine if you go to the gas station and just get a free lottery ticket? You go every day.
Yeah,
because you're not paying $1 for it. I've had songwriting dry spells of months and I haven't come up with anything, but it's still free to think about music. You can think about it every day. So like writing music is like printing out a free lottery ticket. You might get the $10,000 scratch off one day. We have the opportunity every day. Art can change people's lives. It can change the people's lives who wrote the song, made the art. Show up every day.
I love it. Thank you so much, Charlie, for coming on Behind the Wall, officially making one of these dreams come true for me. So thank you.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
Amazing.
That was great. Hey, thank you.